Intellectual stew. Intellectual stew with James Kirkland.
Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical,
Intellectual stew.
informative and inspirational. How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do.
Intellectual stew.
Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager.
Intellectual stew with James.
Get it set up here. Get this conversation started tonight. Oh, this is tight. Okay. What's up? What it do? It's time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirkland. And if you're coming into the chat, do me a favor, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and tag somebody. Go ahead and let them know that James Kirkland is on the air and the Intellectual Stew has started. And we get ready for this conversation. When should you reveal hidden secrets to your potential mate? We got to talk about that. We got to talk about it. So let me bring in my panelists, if you all will. But do me a favor, come in and say hello. Don't be strangers. Come on in when you come in somebody's house. You don't even care if you kick up your feet on the coffee table, but at least say hello. And let's say hello and tag somebody. Let's get this conversation started. We're gonna get it started right now. Let me see if Ashley is there. Ashley, are you there?
Okay, I am here. I'm about to log off so I can come in on another device.
All right, come on in. Ashley, you're there, and we have Coy. Are you there, Coy?
I'm here, guys. Hello.
Good, you're there. All right, so we got Ashley, we got Coy, and we're gonna have a couple of other people on tonight. Oh, let me turn my music off. We're gonna have a couple of other people on tonight that represent the medical profession. Because listen, y'all know. Hey, what's up, Shanae? How are you doing? Ash is back. What's up, T? I see you're there. We're gonna get you in here in a minute. But listen, I want to get. I had, you know how I am. A lot of times I get, some people don't want to talk on the stage. They don't want to come on the show. So what they end up doing is they end up coming in my inbox. And when they come in my inbox, I try to acknowledge their messages, because to me, their messages are just as valid as anybody else's message. And this particular person, I'm trying to get to the actual message that she sent me. But this particular, I posted it in our little group chat today, but I didn't post it publicly. But I'm gonna find it right quick. And oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm moving too fast. But here it is. Where are you? There you go. So this is what happened last week when she said, I'm trying to get there, y'all.
Take your time.
I appreciate that. But what it said, I should have already had it ready, but sometimes I do that. All right, so where is it at? Behind that preposition. Okay, here it is. I have a topic for you. When do you disclose to a new love interest your true secret? Addiction, marital status, convictions, financial status, impotence, children's sexual appetites, HIV, herpes. At what stage do you disclose this? And that's a good topic. And it was very personal to her, because she had somebody in her family that someone did not share that information with. And when they did, what's up, Reggie? What's up, comedian Jesse McDonald? Somebody speaking to you, Coy. But at what stage do you share? Actually, I wanted to get with him anyway. I saw one of his steals. I need to get with him. But at what stage do you share this? Because her niece or whoever, somebody in her life, was messing with somebody, contracted AIDS, and when she contracted AIDS, now she feels stuck with the guy, even though he's in prison, all that kind of stuff. So, so that this is kind of a personal subject to her. And so that's with that. But then somebody else sent me something else, and I want to deal with that one first before we get into the next one, if you all don't mind. Evelyn, I see you in the back room. We're going to bring you in a few minutes. And T, I'm going to get you in here in a few minutes as well. But first, I want to deal with this first issue, okay? Ashley, you there, right? Coy, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, good. All right, so now listen also. Now, when I got ready to talk about this subject today, your girl Coy had to check me today because I was like, Coy, I need somebody from the medical profession because I want to get some good stuff. She said, James, you know I'm a nurse practitioner. I said, yeah, I do know you're a nurse practitioner. I just wanted somebody else's perspective as well. So y'all, Coy is operating in her area of study tonight, in her area of expertise. So we're gonna leave here with some good information tonight. We're gonna break down some myths, and we're gonna kill some preconceived notions, if y'all don't mind. So let me go ahead and get this started because I want to read this first. Let me share my screen. I want to read this. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, but if you can't, I'll read it out loud for you. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. All right. So what she says is, this was in response to our conversation. You would not. So this particular through a mutual friend.
Okay, is it me that has bad reception or is it you, James?
It's going on with me also, so it may be James.
Okay, we can't. Yeah, you choppy.
All right, I don't know. Like it might be Wi-Fi. Can y'all hear me better?
We can hear you, but you're not clear.
This is very weird.
Actually, your screen is spinning, so it might be your Wi-Fi.
Go out and come back in. Sometimes. Hold on. What about now? Am I still spinning? Because I see y'all fine.
You back in?
I was here the whole time. Man, am I spinning still? Y'all said Ashley said I was spinning.
Yeah,
you're no longer spinning.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
All right, cool. Ooh, that's part. You can't do nothing about technology, but it is what it is. All right, so here we go. This lady said that she really wants some insight from the men. So hopefully my brothers are out here as well. But ladies, y'all can help her as well. She said, I recently started dating again, and I am a breast cancer survivor. Amen. She's a breast cancer survivor. But she says, I also have an autoimmune condition. On 2 occasions, I've kept how I was physically feeling during my flare-up to myself instead of sharing with my guy. He's explained to me how it made him feel, and she understands and said I would always let him know how I'm feeling. Here's my thing. Here's my hang up. I go through a lot of hormonal changes after my BC treatment, on top of the added life challenges with having a chronic illness. I've always held my feelings in about the mental and some physical aspects of it, and shared only what I felt was suitable for others to handle. In my mind, I feel like it's a lot to take on so soon, and I'm battling with how much I should share when it comes to my health and daily life related to it. Even though I've agreed to share it, it actually makes me scared to share everything. My guy isn't someone new. He's someone I've been known since childhood. So we have history. She says, am I overthinking this? What tips or insight could you share to help me understand from a man's perspective? Thank you. So everybody got the gist of that? Everybody has the gist of that?
Yes.
All right. So if there's any guys, comedian Jesse, Corey, actually tag Corey and all them, Reggie, all y'all that are in here, If you have a woman, you're dating someone. Now he's known her since childhood. Now they've decided to go forth in a relationship, right? And she has she's a breast cancer survivor, but she also has an autoimmune disease. What's that mean, Coy? Are you there, Coy?
It has something that where her immune system is easily compromised. Like she could have from lupus to rheumatoid arthritis. There's a number of things that causes you to have autoimmune disease. Yeah.
Okay. And that would be Shanae said, I'm still chopping up. Am I still chopping up, y'all? I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about that because, like I said, all I'm doing is plugged in. Am I still chopping up?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, good. Because I hate that takes away from the show I'm talking about. I'm chopping up the whole time. But if I'm chopping up because I hate to have a bad reception. So she could have breast cancer, be a breast cancer survivor, and have sickle cell, as Shanae said, or lupus or something along those lines. Is that what y'all are saying?
Even something as simple as what people perceive as simple as alopecia. That's an autoimmune disease. There's a number of different autoimmune diseases.
Okay, whatever autoimmune disease she has, though, it causes her to have flare-ups, and those flare-ups cause so much pain, and I guess it maybe changes her behavior or whatever. I don't know, but it bothers her so bad that she doesn't want to share that with her potential mate. And she's saying that I think she feels as though if she does share it with her potential mate, then he might not want to deal. So typically lupus has flare-ups. So he might not want to deal with that. So therefore, she's sitting on that information, thinking that could possibly be a deal breaker. That's the word, a deal breaker with regards to that. So what I wanted some brothers to do, if Sammy is in here, or if Otis or comedian, any of these guys, there you are, Corey. So here the situation is, Corey. The young lady has she's a breast cancer survivor. But not only is she a breast cancer survivor, but she also has an autoimmune disease that causes her to have certain types of flare-ups. And she is ashamed to share that information with her guy because she don't know how he's going to respond. So I wanted to get some. So she wanted some of the advice from the male perspective. What I mean, I don't know what how would we handle that, or how would we respond to somebody in the same circumstances or in the same situation? Corey, what do you say about that, Corey? And Ashley, what you can talk about?
I was going to say maybe a better question would be, and you can, I mean, how maybe is a person's illness outside of something sexually transmitted? Could a person's illness be a deal breaker for the men?
Same question. I mean, because we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the other part of it in a minute. So it's gonna be applicable in a minute. But we'll use that question. It don't matter. What are you gonna say, Corey? What'd you say, Corey?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, what'd you say? Go ahead.
That was me. I guess while we're waiting for some men to respond, I was in a situation where I dated a guy who had cancer, and he wasn't forthcoming with the information. As a matter of fact, when I found out about it, he was really standoffish, didn't want you to ask any questions about it. And I don't know if it's different for a male than a female, but it was almost like he didn't want a pity party.
Yeah.
And I remember, trying to be there for him, and he was basically like, "I didn't ask you to be here for that." We're still really, really good friends, but we've had conversations about it. And I was like, "Do you remember when?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was just not something that he wanted to share, and he didn't feel necessary to share."
Gotcha. And we got a couple of brothers who have responded, so let's see what they're saying. And I'm gonna bring Nurse T on in now. And then Evelyn, I'm going to bring you in a few minutes. But let me bring Nurse T in on this as well. Maybe Nurse T can
Jesse said,
hold on. I'm gonna bring that up. So let me bring Nurse T in first. Give me 1 second, one hot second, okay? T,
Yes,
you there?
I'm here.
Oh shoot, she got her T-shirt on too. Okay, good. I see this T. My partner got her T-shirt on. That's all right. All right. So T, T is a nurse. Okay, so T is a traveling nurse. So she's like all over the country doing this thing. So we're gonna get her perspective on this part, and we're gonna also Ashley, get ready to bring those comments up. You can go ahead and put them on the screen if you would.
you don't know how to do that. That's your area.
You don't know, just click on it. When you click on it, does it say show?
Because I'm not logged in on the page.
Okay.
I'm on my page.
Yeah, all right. Well, as long as you're reading the comments. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna get some male's perspective. It said, if he love you, this is comedian Jesse McDonald, still funny. He says, if he love you, he's going to accept it. It's worse if you don't tell him. And if something happens to you, he don't know how to deal with that. I like that. That's a good answer. Lazaric, what'd you guys say?
I was gonna say I agree. I like that as well.
All right. Lazaric said, peace. I would rather her tell me straight out the gate, whether for me to find out later on. So that's good stuff. And then we got another brother who said something. Reggie said, from a male's perspective, I think she should have disclosed that prior to any sexual activity or physical interaction if the disease is that of a sexual nature. Now, this isn't a sexual nature disease right here, Reggie. This is the one we're talking about with the young lady right now. She's a breast cancer survivor. And on top of being a breast cancer survivor, she has an autoimmune disease. Now, Coy and Shanae have told us a few different type of autoimmune diseases. Help us if we leave any out, T. We got sickle cell, we got lupus, we got what else? Alopecia. What other type of autoimmune?
I heard someone say rheumatoid arthritis. So
okay.
Yeah, for the most part, I kind of echo what
even
shared.
Yeah, even diabetes type 1 is considered autoimmune disease.
Okay.
You know.
And with how many of those do you have flare-ups? I know she said lupus.
Lupus is the
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have flare-ups.
I
don't know. So talk to me like I'm a fourth grader. You know what I'm saying? So you said all of them. I don't know. So all of them.
That's true.
And what do the flare-ups look like? Now I do remember somebody having rheumatoid arthritis. So I know that what that pain looked like. They were in constant pain. I mean, literally. So that's what it basically is. It's just the flare-ups are just like you're always in pain for the most part.
They can be different for each. I don't have MD or any letters behind my name as it relates to the medical field. However, they can be different for each person. What happens to me may not be the same thing that would happen to someone else.
Right.
But give me some examples of what some of the things that because this if we're having this conversation, and the brothers are listening, and they might be in a position to deal with somebody who has an autoimmune disease, if they know what the symptoms look like, we might want to help. You know what I'm saying? Some women like to internalize that pain, you know what I'm saying? Or they want to just suffer. I think I've read an article one time where you call them silent sufferers. They just suffer in silence. And so if we know, that's why I'm asking specifically, what do some of those flare-ups look like? You know, when I read WebMD, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there could be a number of different flare-ups. You know, you have most autoimmune disease, you are going to be fatigue. You know, that's considered a flare-up. You have joint pain, rash. They're constantly, swollen, painful joints. Painful joints is the number one thing. Even with the celiac disease, you know, you have bloating, diarrhea, things of that nature.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloating and diarrhea for real?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's good stuff. So brother, so we seem like what we're basically saying is in response to her is that if you do have some type of disease, that or it's even an autoimmune disease, then you should share that information as soon as possible. I mean, and I don't know why. Honestly, this is me talking. Why would you hide that if it's not sexual in nature? You know what I'm saying? If it's not contagious, you understand what I'm saying? I know. I mean, contagions, of course. You understand what I'm saying? If you're doing something that can potentially be passed on because it's contagious, then I can see, you know, you might want to just hurry up and jump that out there quick. But even And you might even want to hide it. You know what I'm saying? You might refrain from doing something because you're afraid to let them know or whatever or whatnot. But if it's something
like somebody, like I know somebody who has like irritable bowel syndrome, and you don't want to tell nobody that you can't hold your bowel. Like it could be something that's embarrassing to them. And so unless you're going to be in sometimes people may feel like if you're not going to be in what we deem as a serious relationship, why should I put myself out there to expose myself to being ridiculed and made fun of, or, the back end of your jokes, if we're not even getting ready to be that way? I mean, it would be just like a man having erectile dysfunction. You ain't gonna tell a woman right in the first 2-3 weeks that your thing don't work, because she might not be there tomorrow, and now she know your thing don't work.
But you know what's interesting about that is that, and I'm glad she said a male perspective, and I appreciate, and I want everybody's perspective, but I think our approach to that is totally different. I'm gonna tell you why. Look what Lazarick just said. He said that's not an STD, so I would be able to handle that better. I mean, even with you might not say I have irritable bowel syndromes, but you might, because I'm not worried. I'm not as worried about the symptoms as I am the source of the symptoms. You feel what I'm saying? If the lupus causes the irritable bowel syndromes, all you do is tell me you have lupus. You don't have to tell me you have irritable bowel syndrome. I'll Google and find out. If I like you much or love you that much or whatever, I'm probably gonna Google and find out what the symptoms are, because I'm gonna try to find out how I can make it easier for you. Let me see what.
Your question to what are some things. So these are some things, but however
well, my response was to you saying I might not want you to know I have irritable bowel syndrome. That's what I was. That was what my response to. And is irritable bowel syndrome autoimmune, or is that a symptom?
No, irritable bowel. It's the diagnosis all on its own. So irritable bowel syndrome is something that people can suffer from. It's not necessarily a symptom. It can be secondary to other things, but for the most part, it carries its own. So its own diagnosis, its own set of symptoms, treatment. It can be literally something that they're diagnosed with individually. And I think I wanted to add to what Ash was sharing. So she may not want that person to know from that perspective. But then I'll also say from an instance, when we're speaking of breast cancer, sometimes women may have more of a feeling of inadequacy as opposed to it being more shameful. So it may take a little bit more for her to get the courage up to share it. It's not that she's probably ashamed, more so than she may feel inadequate. Say she had to have breast surgery. So if she had mastectomy, and maybe she hasn't had the implants or the replacements, there's so many other things that she can be thinking, and especially in a society that we have today. So we already know most times there's already a concern for women when it comes to dating. We know that, as people say, there's something wrong with the pool. So if you're talking to someone, you may not readily feel comfortable, which a lot of these things we do want to give and afford the guy the opportunity to take care of us and to be there and to make a decision as with any other thing. But I'm pretty sure, most times women are kind of adding these up, are these going to be red flags? Where now a potential person she's interested in and the pool hasn't been in her favor, how much of that is she willing to share up front?
Gotcha. And that's all we're trying to do is part of, and thank you for being on, T, but part of answering the question when that whole scenario was sent to me, right, is understanding what the disease looks like. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's not just a blanket panacea, one size fits all answer. There are some more variables that have to be considered when we look at answering that type of question. You understand what I'm saying? Because as we segue into the second part of our conversation, right? Because what happened with the young lady that even suggested this show tonight, and I'm gonna bring somebody else in just a moment. But when we started talking about the young lady who talked about the show, somebody gave her niece AIDS, literally gave her niece AIDS, and now that person has to walk with that package, as they call it, that ninja, for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? I got a friend of mine, and he used to always talk about his vasectomy, you know, and all this kind of stuff. I used to tell him, but I said, but even with a vasectomy, bruh, somebody can still put something on you the Board of Health can't take off, you know, and because back in the day, you can go get a shot, you know, they might be clapping for a minute, and 3 days later go see the doctor, and then next day you back in it because you can take an antibiotic. But nowadays, it's stuff that can be put on us, both men and women, that you can't be cured from, right? And so not having all the information has a lot of people afraid. And honestly, T, I think we should be afraid. You know what I'm saying? I
We
think you should.
absolutely should.
I think we should be afraid. Coy, you sent me that statistic. How many percentage of people? What's the percentage of people in this country that have they have herpes? Some form.
Over, but there's what is it?
I can't hear you. No, we can't. You said what now?
There's one over 60, and then you have at least 40 people who have HSV too. So it seems like it's a big number. But, you know, there's some.
Coy, you choppy. You
chopping up real bad. We like hearing every other word. Go out and come right back in. Go out and come right back in, Coy. Go all the way out and come back in. But I think I heard part of what she was saying. You can maybe you can help us with some of those statistics. T. I think she said over 60% of people have some form of herpes and don't even know it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Y'all here, listen to this, people.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Listen and listen well. There are over 60% of people in these United States that have some form of herpes, whether it be HSV1 or HSV2.
Absolutely.
And I think she said over 40% have the HSV2. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah.
So tell me what that looks like, T. Tell me what that looks like.
Well, HSV1, we'll start there. Just in the plainest form, it's considered an oral version. HSV stands for herpes simplex virus. So pretty well much is the herpes form that affects your oral cavity. So that one certainly more transmissible by oral kissing, oral sex, things like that. So that's HSV1, and of course, is no respect of person, male, female, doesn't matter your preference, whether you are heterosexual, homosexual. HSV2, that's our genital herpes. So same thing, herpes simplex virus 2, and that one's genital. So of course, sexual intercourse, and yet again also oral, because HSV1 can also be transferred via oral sex to genital herpes. So in a nutshell, much like Koya was just sharing, people can have it and don't know they have it. It can be asymptomatic. It's a virus that lies dormant in your system. So you can be infected with this virus and you don't know unless you go in and have yourself tested, and you're asking your doctor to basically do a blood test, and they can check like a whole STD panel for you. And then aside from that, for those that are symptomatic, they may not know what it is. Sometimes if we have people that come into the clinic, I work as a nurse practitioner too, such as Coy. If we have people come into the clinic and they have, what they call a fever blister, or they think this happens all the time, it's the weather change, or it happens when I get a cold. It's about, us evaluating them, educating them. Most times we can tell just by looking at the lesion whether or not that's an HSV lesion. So something as simple as that appearing on your oral cavity, causing pain, tingling, burning sensation. And it could be all of those, or it could be none. It could literally just be that you have the blister there. So of course, it doesn't always warrant people going in and getting treated. And then the very same thing for HSV2. People can have discomfort there, the tingling, burning sensation, and then of course the lesion, which is oftentimes what we call raised or clustered lesion that may be coupled with several little bumps in a circle. So That's it in its, most simplest form when we talk about herpes or HSV1, HSV2. Can absolutely be asymptomatic, and then of course you can be symptomatic. And do know that there's a lot of information out there that has always shared, well, if you are not symptomatic, that you can't. Exactly. They say that you can't spread it because you're not symptomatic. That is absolutely not true. So we really just encourage people to know, to get tested, ask for the test. If you don't know if you've ever had a lesion or a cold sore or a genital sore, get tested so that way you can be properly treated, because you absolutely still can spread from one person to the next, even if you don't know that you have it.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right, Coy. So you're back. Let me go ahead and bring Evelyn in now too. Evelyn, are you there, Evelyn?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. So we got Evelyn here. So I got 3 people on my panel right now that are in the medical profession. And let me bring Ashley back in too, because sometimes all right, Ashley, you there?
I'm here. I'm on these old janky phones.
It happens that way sometimes. Go ahead.
Hey,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Did I jump in while someone was talking?
No, you did. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay, I was getting ready to mention. I don't know if y'all see the little star for those that are in the comment section. The little star indicator up there. That is a way for you to support this platform. It literally only takes pennies. So if you click on the star, it'll give you the prompts on how you can purchase those, and any amount we are thankful for. That's just my little commercial break. Y'all can go right ahead.
I was told I was sucked at asking for stars. So
Did I do okay, Coy?
A1.
Okay, good.
Coy tells me I suck. So Coy,
I didn't say that.
Coy said I suck.
You know what? What she said was, I think Ashley does better at talking about the stars.
And I interpreted it as you suck. Okay, so it ain't what you said is what I heard. That's a totally different thing. Okay. All right. So listen, y'all, we're going to go deeper into this conversation, right? Because listen, people are out here passing these diseases and stuff like really they're doing it, man. And now for those that just listen to what Nurse T just said. Over 60%, Coy said it as well. Over 60% of people in these good old United States have a form of HSV, some form of it, whether it be HSV1 or HSV2. And the sad part about it is a lot of people don't even know they have it. I wasn't even thinking about doing this show until this person came into my inbox and told me what happened to their friend. And they're like, what? Huh?
I wait. There was a pause on my end. I'm sorry.
Okay. Your Tourette's. I got to stop you from your Tourette's tonight about your outburst. But listen, so Evelyn, first of all, thank you for joining us tonight. Is carrying herpes? Is that it? Because I mean, we're talking about when you should disclose it, and we're going to ask that question. I'm asking y'all in the comments. That's the question. When should you disclose if you have something like herpes or some type of disease? When should you disclose that to your potential partner? Because that's a hidden secret, right? No, true enough, but that hidden secret could adversely affect someone else. So with that being said, I'm asking you when you should disclose it. But I want us to get some understanding about herpes tonight. And Coy told me, Evelyn, that you had an interest. I mean, that you had some information for us. Is it a death sentence?
It's not.
Okay.
It really isn't.
What's the question? You're gonna ask? Answering the first one. What's the question, Ashley?
My question is, while they're explaining that, when you do go to these doctors, that's not something that they automatically check for when you go for your regular
check. Not for STD screening.
I wanted to put that part.
Not in the state of Florida, right?
Not in the state of Arkansas either.
Not in Georgia as well, but we do typically ask. So if I'm seeing someone and I know they're coming in, whether it's for a physical, annual, anything, most times we are going to ask, would you like to have, I just actually had a physical this week, and the physician assistant asked me, would you like to do an STD panel? So a lot of times we will ask and prompt, but we won't automatically do it without your permission.
All right, good. That's good to know. So if y'all go get a physical, Most times they're not going to do that unless you ask for the STD panel. We need to be we need to be.
Even with the STD screening in Florida, a lot of patients that come to us, their STD screening that they had did not include herpes.
Okay.
And there's a reason behind it. Herpes isn't a reportable disease, it's a virus. So with the state of Florida, if they go to the health department, of course, in the state of Florida, nothing is free anymore, even the health department. If they go there and they pay for STD screening, they do not do herpes screening.
That's
Wow.
true. And actually, they don't do it here either. And the interesting part about the reason why they don't do it if you don't request it is because it's automatically assumed that majority are already exposed.
Yep.
What?
So
Yep.
because the assumption is that
Yeah.
majority of persons are already exposed with either HSV 1, 2, or both,
What? Or
because they
HSV.
can carry both simultaneously. It is automatically assumed, given the percentage of people and the exposure, such as which Coy touched on earlier. I saw those same statistics. The last one that really kind of highlighted on CDC was in 2018. They had a diagnosis of 572,000 cases. So, given their stats, they automatically assume that most people are already exposed, and that is why it's not an automatic test. It is one that you have to ask for if your practitioner, your physician assistant, or your doctor isn't talking to you about that.
Is that the same? That's the same with the HIV test as well. Well, not they don't automatically assume
No,
people,
that's
but
included in
that's
the
not
STD screening.
Yeah,
HIV is included in
automatically
STD screening.
included. You just
okay.
have to give your consent for it, but it's automatically included. You just have to give permission.
Got you.
I wanted
But
to
you see,
ask those questions to them because a lot I go to the doctor all the time, but now they are making it to where if you have like haven't had an abnormal pap ever or within the last couple of years, they are making it to where you don't have to come back. Maybe you don't have to come back every year. It's maybe every 3 years or every 5 years. And so I wanted to ask the questions to the healthcare professionals so that people on here can know that yeah, it's a lot that can happen in 2 to 3 years. So and if they're not giving certain tests, then maybe people should know that as well. So thanks, ladies.
all right. So you see what Lazaric said. Lazaric said, "Secret
Line
my
A.
ass." He
Oh,
said this. He said, "Secret my ass." That secret needs to be let known from the start. So that because that's the question that we started. The
That-
question is out there now. What are you gonna say, Corey? Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand where he's coming from. But the more education you have, the more you understand that herpes isn't going to kill anyone. It's a stigma
That was the
outside
question.
of the medical community. I'm
Hmm.
sorry.
I said, yeah, because
Yeah, it's
that
a
was the question I
stigma
asked earlier. Yeah, that
when
was the
you're
question I asked earlier.
uneducated. Like the guest said, you have to sit people down and educate them because they come and they say, "Oh, I've had a fever blister, and I get this one X, Y, Z." That's that's technically that's not what it is. It's HSV 1. It's a form of herpes. So they do have to be educated on it. And Evelyn is my office manager. So I was having a conversation with her today, and I just looked at her and I said, "What's your take on herpes?" And she looked at me like, "Huh?" I said, "Well, what do you think? Prior to you being in the medical field, what was your thought when it came to herpes?" And it was interesting what she said. So I said, "You know what? We need to have you on the show so people can hear this and then understand your thought process after being educated on it and you're in the medical field now."
So
So
tell us,
Evelyn,
yeah,
prior to being in the medical field, yeah,
yeah. Tell us your perspective
what
on
did
it.
you think about herpes?
So prior I would have I knew it was well, at least I thought that it was like an STD infection already. So it was it could have been something that could kill me or kill anybody, as well as it being contagious. The thing is that before I was in the medical field, it was everything came under the title of HIV. Like HIV, that it can kill you and it is contagious, and that's the main thing that you mention to other people whenever you're saying, "Oh, you got STDs for being with whoever," but it all comes down under HIV. So any STD test that you mentioned, automatically, at least in my head, and like many people that I know, like up to this day, like they put it under that. Like everything comes under HIV, so everybody takes it as if it's that. So like HIV is this, so that means every single STD test or anything related to it is going to be the same thing, like the same symptoms, the same situations, the same contagious, like spreading and stuff like that. After being in the medical field, then obviously I got to know that it's not like, yeah, it is contagious, but it's not something that can like take away your life from you, nor something that you're not able to basically not control, but at least you have like more knowledge out of it, and you know like how to deal with it. Because there's some people like we have many patients that come in and they get like they start panicking just like thinking about them having herpes. And between Corey and I, we do explain to them that it's not like you're not gonna die from it. I don't know why they have that mentality, but like I said, before I was in the medical field, I did not have like mentality, because like it's gonna kill me, simply because like I said, we put everything under the title, like if everything came with the package of HIV.
I can't hear you, James.
You think you're muted.
I was eating candy. I did that. I was eating candy. It's Halloween, so I was chewing. So I didn't want y'all to hear me chewing. So, hey, Chastity.
Yeah, so it's a stigma outside of the medical field, and when people are diagnosed with it, they kind of freak out sometimes, you know. And it's sad that this happens. People go into deep depression, you know. It affects a lot of people, and I think we should bring more awareness to what herpes really is. It's a virus. It doesn't go away. You might have it. You may not know you have it. Like she was saying, is a lot of people is they don't. A lot of people, they don't have the symptoms, so they don't know until they get tested, and then they're falling out and responding because of the stigma in the society. You know, and it's a virus. It doesn't go away. You can continue to test for it. It's not going to go anywhere. It becomes dormant. It gravitates toward the bottom of your spine and becomes dormant. It doesn't go away. It does not mean that you're going to get. Yeah.
This is good information.
Yeah. So my question to other people that are outside of the medical field, I can't ask why it's so difficult to share that information, or maybe I should ask what makes it so difficult to share the information with your potential partner, knowing that it's a virus and something that cannot kill you. As long as you're protecting yourself, protecting others, disclosing it. And even in a lot of states, it's not illegal to not disclose it. Now you can get, you can. People can take you to civil court over it. You know, you might get something out of that, but they're not going to get locked up for it. It's not against the law or anything like that.
But you
I
can
think
for
the state of
HIV,
Missouri.
you can.
Yeah,
HIV, you got to disclose.
You have to by law disclose that
you have
information.
to.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what Lazare
So with
said.
that being said, with the HS, okay, go ahead.
We delayed. Oh, we delayed. It says, let me read what LA says right here. He said, in all seriousness, may not be life threatening. However, that is something that you can potentially have for the rest of your life. Treatable, yes, but still you need to let a person know. I agree with that. So, but okay,
yeah,
so
and I think we should make it to where it's not so hard. It's not straining to let your partner know, because I think when you're honest about certain things, it's easiest for people to move forward with you.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
James,
Okay,
don't mute me. Don't mute me.
I'm trying to find out where that click was coming from. So if it was
That's
the click
not
was
me.
if I just get, I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna mute everybody in a minute. And ain't nobody even talking. I'm gonna mute people that
Listen,
ain't even
read
talking.
Reggie's comment, because Reggie's statement is what my thought process was.
You read it.
I can't read. People may not fully understand the virus and may be ashamed or feel like they will be labeled when somebody asks.
Right, and we need to try to help people eliminate that shame. You know, the only way we can do that is help give more education and help people understand that.
Right. It
A lot
starts
of
in the
times people
community.
don't realize that, just like y'all were talking about, sometimes it lies dormant. So a person may not know. I think people think if I tell them, then folks are gonna think, well, I'm nasty. You could have been with the same partner. They
Mm-hmm.
could have had sex many moons ago, and they exposed you. It didn't mean you were out here sleeping with the world. It's
Correct.
just the one person that you did trust in that aspect, gave. So I think that that's, kind of people start thinking that folks don't think that they real
Yeah,
promiscuous and
because
just
like
like,
Evelyn said, it's labeled under STD,
It's
you
right.
know,
labeled.
but it's not even a reportable STD. So it's not the end of the world.
Well, if they think about that, you can think about what is it, the HPV. Is kind of, one that
Right.
is
Same.
is kind of the same thing. So
Hmm.
doesn't mean that you're nasty. It's just, I mean, that's something that they're giving shots for, and you still can kind of contract that. So
Yeah,
Hmm.
That
that's
is true.
that, and that's the thing, and that's why I was, like I said, I was very I was happy that the young lady asked me to do the show, and I was happy, and listen to everybody that may just be coming into the show. We have three young ladies that are in the medical field that are on here tonight. Coy is a nurse practitioner. Nurse T is a nurse practitioner, and she's a traveling nurse. Evelyn, I don't know her background, but I know she's an office manager in Coy's facility, and Coy, that's what she does. That's what her company does. They test all day. She owns an in lab testing facility. They test for all of these types of diseases and all of these type, drug testing and all these types of things. So they're talking about stuff that they know. And if they're telling us that it's not a death sentence, then now we still need to be responsible. Once you find
Yes.
out that you've contracted the virus, I'm not saying the disease, Corey, I'm changing my terminology. Once you've contracted the virus, then it's your responsibility to be responsible with that information. And if you are, like my boy Lazaric just said a minute ago, Lazaric said, if I had an STD that I could possibly spread to someone, if me and this person plan on being with each other, I would let them know. I want them to make their own decision on whether they would move forward. And I think a person can make a better decision if they
Absolutely.
have better information. And I mean, you know
Yes.
what? You know what though, T? A little Google search solved a lot of that for me. I put in Google to say, Google today, I said dating with herpes. And WebMD gave me a whole rundown.
That's right.
It talks
Gotta
about
pay
when you
yourself.
should tell them. Let me tell you, hold on right quick, because I asked them first. I said, when should you tell them? Look what they said. The first date after genital herpes diagnosis may seem a little strange. However, if you hope to be sexually intimate with your date at some point, you may feel like keeping it a secret, like you're keeping a secret. She said, but if you are one to be candid with people, you'll want to blurt it out. Don't. There are some things you should reveal about yourself right away. For example, that you're married or that you are just in town for the week. They said, but some things are better left for the appropriate moment. So what they're suggesting is that you should tell them,
Mm-hmm.
but don't lead with that information. Because I mean, why would you tell somebody something you're not even going to be in a relationship with?
Right. I think that's a
Yeah, and some
start.
people can't tell you no way because they don't
that's
even
what
know
I
they
was
have
saying
it,
up
and they
front.
probably have it.
Let's talk. We're talking from the perspective of the ones
Right.
who do
But
know,
if
though.
you know, I think that's understood. You want to ensure that you know what stage you are with this person. If you're dating, if it's someone, I mean, if you're on the first date, you don't even know if you want to see that person again, or they may not know if they want to see you again. I mean, I would probably say you want to at least establish something. You may not share it on the first date, but if you feel like conversations are going well, the date was great, you guys are seeing on the same page where you want to continue exploring, it's a good time to have that conversation.
Gotcha. And it seems like the consensus for the brothers so far. Michael Smith said he wants you to be upfront and honest. Communication is key. Lazaric said, hold on. He said, please, I'm moving. This thing's moving faster than please reveal it to me right away. He said, I want, and he put capitalized right away.
Exclamation.
Yeah, I want to know. And I'm with you. I mean, I think I would, but
Right. You see
I
what
don't
he
know about
said?
that.
He also said people know, but they're too embarrassed to tell. We should
Yeah, but
help people eliminate the embarrassment, and people should feel comfortable telling people this because, like you said, it's maybe you were loose, maybe you weren't. Maybe it was you were in a long-term relationship, maybe you weren't. Nobody knows it. You
Right.
know, we should make it to where people are comfortable with disclosing that information so everybody can be comfortable.
Yeah, but the thing to me is still, at what stage do you do that? Because like I said, if we're on the first date, I don't even know if we're gonna go on the second date.
No.
And if we don't know we're going on the second date, why am I leading? I mean, why am I sharing that information? I think you share that information. This is me talking. When you have made the decision that you are going to become intimate. And does that not? I mean, that is that not the consensus? I mean, I know my boys. I mean, Lazeric, is that what y'all? Michael Smith, Lazeric.
Are we still talking about STD or autoimmune
That
disease?
might
What
be
we
a
talking
little
about?
bit
We on
late.
we moved on to herpes like 35 minutes ago. We moved on to
I
herpes.
was just trying to make sure, cause I was gonna say, hell, if you got an STD, you need to tell them you might be about to get busy the first day.
Yeah,
You need
but
to be telling them.
and then that's when you tell them on the first date.
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like that
Yeah.
too. If you're gonna get busy the first day, you should. But I feel like if you're not at that place, you still may not want to
Right.
move
Why
forward
not just, I mean,
at
why
the level
disclose
of
it?
intimacy. We don't want to wait to that point. I feel you should do is once you've established that you can see yourself exploring more with this person, whether more for you is sexual intimacy, relationship, further dating. I feel like that's probably when it should come out,
That's
but
what I
not
said. So
necessarily
Dr.
waiting
T,
until you're
not that
ready
I
to
done gave
be
you doctor,
intimate.
honey.
See, we're not laughing at you.
Yeah,
We're
I
laughing at the
need to see
comments.
your medical
But
records for the
listen,
past
isn't
10
this not
years.
what I said? Ain't that what I said in the beginning when James was
No,
like, she asked for a male perspective on. No, I'm not gonna tell you all my business up front. Then tomorrow you're
we
gonna be
wasn't on
talking to
that
your
subject
home.
yet. You gotta read it.
No, it don't matter.
You gotta stay with the agenda. So there you
It
go
was
with that.
yeah.
Let me hold on real quick. Let me turn my
We
mute
stayed
button.
on there for about 2 points.
All right, here we go. He's still talking, but
I can
I'm joking.
I can unmute.
Ah, stop, James.
But I can
Don't do
kick people from
that.
the studio.
Look,
We'll
that's
do
what
this.
people when they ain't got control.
Here we go. I need to see your medical records for the last 10 years. That's what she said. We can fight all day long. I promise you this one. I'm gonna win though. In the
Listen,
end, I'm gonna win. Yes, at the end. But
listen. That's when you can't handle it, so you just want to mute people.
no, I can handle it. I am handling it when I'm muting people. That's my way of
Shame
handling it.
on you.
That's another way of handling it. Muting people. That's what I do. I do
Mm-mm,
that.
mm-mm,
Listen,
mm-mm.
at least you know
I
what.
mean, you may look up. You may even look up. Hey, I got HSV too. I do too. Let's get it on. I mean, you never know. You never know.
Hey,
I
hey,
can't
hey,
give
hey,
it to
hey,
you. You
hey,
can't give it to me.
hey,
We already
Then
got
you
it.
can
hey,
just
hey,
raw dog it, huh, Coy?
hey, listen. It's funny though because
Well,
I
hold on.
asked.
I gotta have test results.
Hold on,
I'm
hold on.
just
Now,
saying.
I'm like
Hold
old
on. Wait a
dirty
minute. Wait a
bastard,
minute.
but I gotta have test results.
Wait. Let me say something. I was at the barbershop the other day, right? I started to film him, and I asked this one dude. I said, when do you reveal to somebody you have herpes? You know what he told me? He said, after y'all have sex. I said,
What the
why?
hell?
I said, why? He
See,
said,
Think about
that's how
this
you die.
though.
That's how people
no, but let
die.
me finish. He said, well, because at that point you just say, well, look, I got herpes and you got herpes, and since we both got herpes, we can be together now. We ain't got to worry about getting it to nobody else. He was joking.
Oh,
See, that's that shit. That's that shit we be talking about right there.
And just
Hey,
because you're exposed to the virus does not mean you're going to
You're
get
gonna
it.
get it.
right.
So
Yeah.
that's where people are wrong at. Yeah. A number of
That is
people have been
true.
exposed to
Your
things,
body.
but they don't get it.
That is true. But we still want to put that information out there. We still want to share, give the person that
That's
That part,
right.
Nurse T.
to make a decision.
yeah. So the thing is, and this is what you're looking for. You're looking for. I mean, well, you're not looking for it, but this is what'll happen. There'll be sores in that area. I mean, what does the outbreak look like, Nurse T? Talk to me about outbreak.
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes,
Right,
some
correct.
people do
It
never
may
get
or
an
may not
outbreak.
include it, but
Hmm.
sometimes people can have a tingling sensation. It could be,
It's like a superficial pain.
yeah, like a superficial. It may not be anything there. You may just feel something in a particular area. Sometimes people even complain of increased itching in that particular area. So it could be almost like a superficial burn, tingle, itch. And then they may also see the lesion that may form. And as I mentioned earlier, the lesion is pretty distinctive for most people. And it's what we would call a clustered lesion. So you're looking at it and you wonder, like, it's something that looks like it has layers or
Yeah.
multiple small pustules or,
Oh Lord.
blisters in one area. And it could be very small. It doesn't have to be large. It could be very small, but it's very distinguished.
Ah.
These comments, Lord have
Shonda,
mercy.
Help them,
Shonda
Holy
Hayes.
Ghost. Help them. Help
Shonda
them.
Hayes said, "What did I walk into?" Shonda, we're talking about when you should reveal to someone if that you might be intimate with that you have like herpes or AIDS or some type of disease, because we're
Stop
trying to.
saying AIDS. Say
Well,
HIV. Stop giving everybody AIDS.
I'm not a
We
medical
still have to
professional, and
be
I don't
honest.
prepare.
AIDS is
Yeah.
a diagnosis all in itself. So we do still have to be honest, because the next stage, if someone still progresses
Right.
from HIV, is AIDS. So we do still have to address AIDS, because it very much so still is an STD. And for some people, they may have already progressed past the stage of HIV. So we do still have to call
Yeah.
it AIDS as well.
Let's read some
Lord
comments.
have
Lady
mercy.
Pearl said, "I know someone that had it on their butt cheeks. They had herpes on their butt cheeks."
It can be
Uh,
anywhere in that genital area. It absolutely can.
Michael Smith said, "Damn that! If you burn it, I better know it before you come talk to me."
Yeah.
Look what Michael Smith said. "I'm watching everybody now. If you scratch and keep it moving."
These comments are
Ashley, take over. I'm dead. Take over, Ashley. I'm dead.
You know, see, Michael, you make it worse for your partner.
Oh my
You know
God.
what I mean? Because they're gonna
Ashley
be
over
afraid to tell you. You already talking about it. You scratch. I'm moving on.
here.
well, Lord forbid we talk about those that, like I said, are asymptomatic, because there are some people have no symptoms. So
And they're just as contagious.
Right. You
And they're
cannot
just as
look at a person and say they got HIV. You can't
and,
do
and,
that.
and they're just as contagious. The
and
people
they
that doesn't
are.
have the people that are asymptomatic are just as contagious.
They can absolutely
They
transfer as
yeah, they
well.
can still spread it.
They can still spread it.
Oh, fine. Listen, everybody get up. Y'all tomorrow, y'all need to go get some reality checks. So basically what you're saying, if it's 20 people on here and 60%, so 12 people on this thread right now got herpes.
Potentially.
Y'all got herpes. I'm being honest with you. So go get your test
Most
tomorrow. Don't
people
come back
get
here.
HSV1 in their childhood, anyways.
Oh,
That is
Most
God.
people
true.
do, and they even freak out. They come in and they get their herpes results, and they'll have HSV1 positive, HSV2 negative. They'll freak out. They're all over the place, like, oh Lord, sweating and everything. I'm like, hold on, do you understand the difference? People don't even know that. Like,
That is so true.
Layden said you're not gonna have her walking around here leaking and itching and taking pills for life. Lord have mercy.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Y'all know what? This is so powerful because we can laugh about herpes. You know what I'm saying? We're actually laughing
Yes.
and joking about herpes. But that's
right,
it. But if you protect yourself, it's ways that you can be in a successful relationship. And
Correct.
that's the thing.
absolutely.
And that's the mature aspect of it. Yeah. But if now here's the thing: if you care enough about that individual to explore and want to go to the next level, then there are things you can do. Number one, you're trying to avoid having intercourse, especially when you're having an outbreak. That's what I did read today. I did read that aspect of it. But
If
when
you
you're
care.
not huh?
If you care.
Yeah, if you care. Yeah. Now you got your
Nobody's
right.
gonna have sexual intercourse if they have an outbreak. That's probably gonna be a little painful for them.
That would
Yeah,
be so
I
trifling.
would think.
That would
People
be
are
trifling.
trifling out here, just like they knowingly infect folks with AIDS. If somebody done gave them some herpes, and especially if you don't like a B or a N, they finna what that man
And
say,
she said,
burning. They finna make
ask
sure they light that
Coy.
ass up.
Coy. She said some herpes. This Negro said some herpes. That's like somebody earlier they said that back in the day somebody gave me the herpes. Ashley came in here and said if he done gave me some herpes,
Oh my goodness.
if he gave you some but didn't give you all
Part
of it, are
of
you
it.
cool with that?
Part of it. Just part of it. Yeah, honey.
It's cracking
Shoot.
me up.
I ain't gonna lie, I would rather have some herpes than all herpes, I guess. If I got a choice on how this is gonna go down. Boy, this is funny. No, I'm joking. I'm real talk. I'm real talk. I love y'all though, but real talk. But there are ways to do this because and I did look at a couple of things today kind of because we're getting 9:59. Yeah, we get to the point we can start winding down a little bit. Y'all are funny to me. How did you laugh about herpes? But they said one
It's
thing.
just a virus
You can
thing.
laugh about it if
That's
you ain't
right.
got when you ain't got it. Hell.
Hell, somebody on here, 12 people on here got it.
Shit,
And
that's
20
what
people.
you must be talking about in your chat, cause shit, not over here. Yeah.
Cause you one of the hey, you one of the ones who didn't, okay? But one
One thing, one of the look, one thing
statistics
for one
say
thing for
12
sure, two
people
things
on
for
here,
certain. We getting
and
this
40%
food check
got
regular.
the house. Okay, I'm sorry.
Did you say regular?
Regular, honey, regular, okay?
Hold on. What
I
Michael
use
said?
my insurance. I pay for this. I pay for it monthly. I use it faithfully, okay? Faithfully.
This
You-
fool said you be hitting that cat and you think you causing the pleasure pain, but it's the damn herpes pain. Man, no. Wow.
Michael, you running out. Here
I'm
you
this
go
close.
again
I'm this
tonight.
close. Listen, I'm this close saying, may the Lord watch between me and thee.
Well,
I'm
hold
about
on.
to get
Before
a
you
business.
dismiss us, we got to
I ain't
see if
been
the folks
dismissed yet
want to
because we
get
having
some
fun.
stars
One
or
from
something. We
No,
want
we
to
another
get
having
some
fun.
more
No, we having
stars.
fun. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ashley. I'm sorry.
And I was saying, for you dismiss us, let the people know they can give some stars. We might have some, we had
You
12,
do it.
but,
I suck at
but
telling them that.
14, I'm telling them now. Hold on. We
Okay.
might have had 12 that had the herpes, but we might have got 2 more that don't
The
got the
herpes.
herpes. So we
The
want
herpes.
all 14, the 12 that do, and the 2 that don't, to donate for them stars. Okay, it's simple. Click
I'm
the
gonna
little
say.
star. It's gonna prompt you. You can give some free. If you haven't donated before. I know that you haven't donated before. You can give. I think 99 for free. And if you have, then it will prompt you to on what the next steps will be to purchase those. So go ahead,
And y'all
James.
know we get, and y'all know we give good information every week. Y'all help us support this platform a little bit. I appreciate Coy.
That's
I
right.
appreciate Ashley. I appreciate T got her shirt on tonight.
That's
Ashley
right.
got some shirts
James,
too. She
I
gonna
ain't
wear
got
them.
my shirt in the mail. I feel some type of way.
Listen, tell her how long it took for me to get my shirt, Jay.
It took her a long time.
I got that shirt, but I'm talking about the new shirt that the other 2 co-hosts got. I don't really understand why I haven't got my shirt.
I ordered mine, Ashley. The one that I
But
wore,
that
I
ain't
ordered it.
this ain't what he said. This is what he said. Mike, let me not Mike. Oh, maybe
We are
because I'm a woman.
often tossed
I
and
need to.
driven
He
on
gave
the
Mark a shirt.
restless
Maybe because
sea
I'm a
of time.
female.
Well,
And
y'all
he
know the
don't
song.
really
Maybe
like
you
that
didn't make that
sometimes.
60 percentile.
Yeah.
You said what
Hey,
now? I'm in the
we gotta
50
Maybe
understand.
you didn't make that
Yeah,
60 percentile.
Listen,
that part.
Michael, we'll understand it better by
I guess I'll go on
and
there and order.
by. I got you,
I'll
baby. Don't
order
worry about
one tomorrow.
it. I
But
got you.
let me tell you something.
I got
I have a friend who
you.
started dating this girl. She
You
was
good?
freshly divorced, and he started
Oh,
dating
Father, this sound
this
bad.
woman, and they dated for about 4 years, right? And in that at, around the 4th year, he started noticing different patterns. Like she wouldn't have sex with him at certain times, and so over the years he put up with it. But the 4th year, he was just like, you know what? Hold on, what's going
Uh-oh.
on? Are you sleeping with somebody? Like what's going on?
Oh my God.
And
Oh
so she
Father.
finally confessed to him that she was diagnosed with herpes after her husband was cheating on her. They had been in this relationship for 4 years. So instead of the guy when he got checked out and he didn't have herpes. But instead of the guy staying with her, he couldn't stay. He left. And they
Did
had
she
4 years invested. Yeah, she was scared to tell him what her husband had done to her, but they had already established 4 years. In a situation like that, you think you would leave also, although you have 4 years invested, or would you stay? Would you understand where she was coming from?
If I've been with her 4 years and I don't have it, I'm probably gonna break.
Deuces?
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
Because
I'm gonna call that
you
grace.
playing with me.
I'm like God gave me grace for 4 years.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop you, Ashley and James. How you getting grace and how they playing with you? Herpes is not a death sentence. It is
It
not
don't have
going
to be
to
a death
kill
Just ask me
you.
a
sentence, but
question.
at the
That was
point,
my answer.
at the point where you knew I should, and you're with me, I should not. Don't come up in here 4 years later and I got to pull the shit out of you, and then you talking about you got hurt. Like that ain't cool. That is not cool at all. At
If
all.
if
So the
I
love wouldn't be
No.
deep enough to stay.
Okay then.
Deception and love is right there.
And that is the reason people are afraid to disclose their information because of that.
In 4
People do
years,
just like this.
But she knew
in
though.
4
She knew.
years.
Yeah.
done
So
lied.
what would have been the difference at the beginning?
Let me say this. It's more so for me the fact that you have been lying than it is what it is that you told me. You made the decision for me. You didn't
That's the
allow
difference.
me to make the
That's the
decision.
difference. You
That's
made
what
the
he was
that's the
saying.
difference in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the difference. You made the
Yeah, I would
decision for me.
agree. I would agree. I think people have a responsibility, you know, regardless of how you feel, the stigma, anything, you still have a responsibility to the next person.
But
So
she handled it. She knew what. Hey, she knew when not to have sex, though. You know what I'm saying? She had a little
No,
biological
you don't
time
know
like
that. You don't know
Hey,
that, but
she did
she
something
thought she knew
apparently because
that.
he didn't get. Yes, well, he didn't get it. So,
Yeah, he didn't get it.
Yeah, he didn't get it. That part of it, he
he
didn't
could
get.
have been on treatment. I mean, I don't know because, you know, that I guess that's the last part to make sure you touched on it, James, just to say like people can still, you know, have a successful life. As Coy been saying this whole time, it is not a death sentence. It's a virus. And oftentimes when I'm talking to patients, I'll share with them, like I explain it in the sense of it being like similar to chickenpox. Chickenpox is a virus. It never goes away. It stays in your body. And we have it as a child. The virus do not clear. And it can represent itself in our older or latter days. It can represent itself. And that's what we call the herpes zoster virus.
Mm-hmm.
And
Herpes what?
zoster, and that
Spell
means
that.
shingles.
Shingles.
Okay.
Zoster.
I gotta
So
Google it. You tell me
that
something, I
just
gotta Google it.
represents itself as chickenpox in the children form, and it represents itself later in life as shingles.
Okay.
So again, another very distinguished virus, but it's still in the body. It lies dormant. It's there from childhood. So I like to give that also as an example, so that way people don't feel so, you know,
I have a question.
Yeah.
stigmatized.
I have a question. So if the herpes zoster, the shingles, whatever you call it, if that's in your body and you go get tested for herpes, would that give you a herpes negative?
You can test it for herpes simplex.
Okay.
It's different.
It's
Okay,
different.
Gotcha. Mary Fleming said it's a respect issue. Give me the choice to decide if I want to be there.
Absolutely.
Reggie Curry said.
So honest question. Go ahead. If someone you meet and you guys are decided, hey, we're gonna be involved and get in this relationship, if they tell you they've been diagnosed with HIV or herpes, would you stay?
I can't say that.
I hear a lot of pen drop.
I can't say that I would.
I can't. If you said now that because those are two different questions. That you said
HIV,
HIV,
right?
Did you say HIV or HPV?
You know, they have antivirals now where HIV it can't be detected anymore. You know,
I might be able to roll with the herpes quicker than the HIV, but I'm not rolling. No, the HIV, no, I ain't doing it. No. Lazeric said, "Damn, y'all got quiet. We did get quiet." And Michael Smith said, all I know.
Wait a minute.
Michael Smith
James
said, all I know
muted
is
us.
this.
That's what happened.
All I know is lies don't discriminate. Liar. Michael Smith said, all I know is next meeting, James, you skipping the communion crackers and juice. But we giving our test. I want results.
Period.
See you now.
My goodness.
Oh Lord.
Young men, hell no. But if I'm at 70, 80 years
Look what Ivy said.
They're gonna say EBT.
I don't care if it's HIV, CDC, HPV, EBT. I'm not sticking around.
Listen, none of them acronyms.
Well, 40% of y'all gonna be single. It just means 40% of people gonna be single. 60% of y'all got HSV. That's what it just said.
They're gonna be single and quiet.
Yeah. 12 points right now. 12 points. Hold on, I'm looking at the statistics. 12.3 of y'all right now got it. So just so a lot of y'all gonna be, the rest of y'all gonna be single. It is.
Well, whip yours out, James, and see what you got on the tip of yours.
Not on the tip of it.
Then I would have to change. I would have to change the status of the show to explicit. I can't do. I want to leave it like.
I didn't tell you to put it on. I didn't say put it on the screen.
Father Jesus.
I said
I was
wait
at
there
home.
and look at it.
Oh, look at it. I do
Just
that.
put-
I've been looking at it for 50 years. I'm okay. I'm good. I
I don't know.
week. Man. I was home last week. You didn't call me. So
Oh my goodness.
bless that one.
Oh gosh.
I am
Y'all are
too.
funny. Y'all are funny. 1, 2, 3, man. Pass them tests out now. Listen,
Huh?
Coy, can we get a discount on some
Y'all.
tests? Can we see?
I ain't giving nothing out for free.
What now?
Hey,
Why they don't send them?
I'll
tests
give
out
y'all
in the mail like they
intellectual
was sending them COVID
discount,
tests?
but
Can
now
we get a 40? We ain't saying for free. Can we get an intellectual discount? Can we get what's the number? 12% discount since 12 of us on here have.
Listen, why they don't send those tests out in the mail like they sent them COVID tests?
Yeah, we need to send that test out. That's the one they need to be sending out. The
Call
government need to be
this
paying
number.
for that.
Call this number.
But evidently the government don't care about that as much because it's not as big a deal. But they want to be in a
Yeah,
relationship.
it is not
No,
because
that's
a lot
a
of it
blood
happens in the
test.
African American community.
Y'all,
what are you talking about? HSV?
You're gonna draw your own blood.
EBT, LMNOP, QRSTUNV. All of them.
T, you got a point there, young lady. She said, "Are you gonna draw your own blood?" Hell no, I'm not drawing my own blood.
Well, that's why.
I'm not. So look, next time I'm in Orlando, which is never, I come check it out. Okay, I'll be back.
I'll be over there.
I can't stand Florida. I ain't gonna lie. So I wouldn't. Maybe Destin. So
Oh, my
no. So
goodness.
when next time I'm in Orlando, I'll stop by. So which is never. I'll be by there. I'll check y'all
Oh,
out.
good.
Oh Lord.
Y'all are funny. So let's leave on. We got what's 10 10. Let me leave a couple of different thoughts with y'all on the way out. And I got these right off of WebMD. They said when you do tell somebody, the first thing is you should be prepared for rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Based on the conversation that we're having tonight, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people aren't educated. So what you don't know, typically you're afraid of. What you don't understand, you're afraid of. So you either try to kick it, kill it, or cage it. You're gonna always try to get out of it as soon when you don't understand it. So that's first thing. Be prepared for rejection. If anybody want to jump in, y'all can. Feel free. Second thing after you be prepared for rejection is it say, I didn't put it on screen. Be prepared for rejection. The second thing you should do is keep dating. Don't stop dating because you have herpes.
Right.
It's somebody that's okay with it. It's somebody
That's
that
right.
that's
Somebody
that's
who's educated enough to
Exactly.
accept you and deal with it,
That's
figure it
That
out.
sound like some shade, Coy.
No, I'm not shading you, Ashley. I'm just saying I have more material. I have more material for you, okay?
How do people
Put it in the group.
say
Put it in the group.
that
Put it
a
in the group.
person is not educated because they don't want to be with somebody?
Well, most of them don't want to be because they don't have the proper information though. They think
They don't understand. Yeah.
I don't think that.
they still think it's an STD. It ain't even an STD.
It's a virus.
It's a virus.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah.
However.
Listen, this is Maddie B's popcorn. I get it off this dude off TikTok. Man, it's the best popcorn in the absolute world.
Did you
Really?
just plug somebody? Don't do that.
I can do that. I'm gonna send him an invoice, but he hooked me up with a couple.
Okay,
bags.
that's what I'm saying. Like, okay.
No. I got something out of the deal. Trust me. Believe me.
Okay.
I'm eating it right now. But y'all
Now
like
my
Jerry's
area
popcorn?
ain't medical, but it is finance. And
Okay.
that
Boy.
part we can get you
Boy.
out.
Cool. She finally answered my question. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. Now it's been revealed. When I asked you what you do, now you just told me. Thank you.
I been told you about what I did.
No, you said, what do you need? But I didn't understand it. Now I got it. Yeah. I'm always working.
You know that why people do that is so that if I tell you all of the things that I can do, then people will try to use, and I'm not talking about you specifically, but people will try to use all of those areas. Do you tell me what you need? And if I can do it, I'll do it. If I can't, then I don't.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I only know what I need sometimes until I know what you can do. That's me. I'm just different. You know that. But number one, be prepared for rejection. Number two, keep dating. Sex with herpes, if you're in the middle of an outbreak, and Nurse T eloquently told us, and Coy eloquently told us what those outbreaks look like. Sometimes they might not be physical. They might not be a lesion. They might not be a bump. It might be an itch, as Mike just said earlier. He said, if you over there scratching, he said he's done with you. So if you got a little tingling sensation down there, you trying to figure out where that tingle coming from, yeah, you might want to go get that blood test.
No.
You're probably in the 12.
They probably just need to take a shower.
You're wrong for that.
They just need a shower.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with Lazeric on that. But ain't no. She said they can't not spend the night. You can't get it by touch, can you? You gotta. Never mind.
She said can't lay on my sheets, honey.
Can't lay on your sheets. They dirty. She said can't use my bathroom. Can't lay on my sheets. Can't spend the night.
Oh my God.
So listen, if anybody is in the Florida area, you talking about dating laden pearls. I think Corey calls her Ivy. Make sure you tell her up front. I mean, like, on the way to the house for the first date, text her and let her know, I do have some type of, because she's going to go and make the decision. Don't waste no time. Don't invest nothing because it's going to end bad for you. It's going to end bad for you. So leave it like that. That's good. All right. So now, T, you said you were going to be on 15 minutes. You've been on for an hour. Thank you.
Exactly. I see that. Very interesting.
We're so inviting.
So it was a good show.
So you're going to be one. We got nurse practitioner and Coy. And then we have another person in the medical field that we can call on too, and we appreciate that. So listen, I really, 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 really appreciate you and Coy and Ashley, because Ashley's gonna always say that's why I like Ashley around, because Ashley can add something to every conversation. Now we're gonna fight, and that's okay. We don't ever cuss each other. We might cuss about each other. We don't cuss at each other, so that's okay. And I don't fight women, so it's all good. But I will throw my shade and do what I do. Y'all know how I do it. So it's been super fun tonight. I really have enjoyed it. Listen, y'all, share that information before you're intimate. Share that information, but don't share with it. It ain't everybody's business. Don't lead with it. First date. I mean, I don't think you need to know. Now, unless some of y'all are just loose like that, or if y'all loose like that, or y'all want to get it down on the first date, all that kind of stuff, then you owe it to that person. Loosey goosey.
Yeah, and if someone shares that information with you, don't look at them with disgust, or just try to do your research. Educate
so
yourself.
Let's role play, Coy. You ready?
Sure.
You ready, Coy? Let's role play. But I want you to.
Are you sure you want to put this on live? Like you want this on live with Coy?
Come on with it, James. I'm ready.
This is for entertainment purposes only, Coy. And I want you to let me down easy. Now, listen, I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of feeling you. Feel like this thing might go to the next level, but I don't know how I ended up with it, because every time I've ever had sex in the past, I protected myself, but I went and got a test, and they've shared with me that I do have herpes. Is that going to be a problem for us going forward?
You have herpes 1 or 2. It all depends.
Both. I got both.
You have 1 and 2. So you've been sucking and fucking, huh?
Wait, girl, that's exactly.
Yes, I've been sucking and.
yes. Well, James,
But I was protected, so I don't know where it came from. I've literally only used condoms, but for some reason I went and got a test, and this is what
I understand. I thank you for your honesty. Like I really do. I got tested also, and I'm clean. I don't have 1 or 2, but I have a friend that I can probably introduce you to who was infected.
Listen, I don't want your friend. I don't want you. I'm okay. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna find somebody else who got herpes with me, and we finna have our thing together, okay? Because 2 negatives make a positive. I don't care what you say. Forget you. That's why I didn't want to tell you in the first place. That's why I started.
Why are you going out there? Why are you going out there?
That you doing just like they do. Then they call them out their name and then send them on.
Ugly ass, then say you ugly anyway. You should respect them anyway.
Lonnie Stewart, this is for entertainment purposes only. We're joking. This is not real. Hold on, Chastity.
I ain't want the ugly.
I wasn't really attracted to you no way.
Right? Yeah. They said you. Somebody told me you had that gawk tooth. No, I'm joking. But
not that little 3,000.
Chastity said dirty liquid juices.
She got that dirty woman's disease.
That she gave her to put a little. That's sugar
Oh, that sugar
Especially got that dirty woman's disease.
nasty woman's disease.
Ooh.
We ready to go, y'all.
Well, James, I will tell you this though.
What's that?
If somebody told you they get that as I die slowly, would you still stay with them?
If what now?
That's it.
As I die slowly.
What's that?
Hey,
No.
Hey.
No, I'm out of there, coach. I'm out of there. I promise.
Well, you know, COVID took people out quicker than that.
I'm a
So
chuck
why
the
not?
dishes and roll. Listen, every. Now I'm not gonna get into that subject because I don't want to get picketed. But every commercial I've seen like that is not people that I identify with. So I'm gonna ride on King Jesus.
Oh, cut it out.
Right
Don't do that. Don't go there.
So no man shall not hinder me. I'm good.
Right.
No, I'm out. You asked the question. No, I won't. I'm not. The other one, if we're already in a relationship, I might consider it because there's ways around that kind of thing. But that other one, nah. What you just call As I Die Slowly, I've never heard that in my life. But,
me either.
If Cookie can do it, you can do it.
Who is Cookie? I don't even know who
Cookie
is.
Johnson. Cookie Johnson.
That man ain't had no dog on me. George Bush called him.
I knew that was coming next.
Man, George Bush said, "Come here, Magic. Let me tell you something. We're gonna let you know something, but you can't tell nobody." So I mean, they've already we're good on that one. It's classified. I'm with Outkast on that one. It's classified. I'm rolling with that one. I'm good. That's right, Lady Pearl. Keep on the whole armor of God. Listen, we've had a wonderful show tonight. I've had my T, Nurse T. See, I better say thank you for Nurse T hanging out. I've had Coy come hang out. I have had Ashley come in and be her nemesis of herself, and I appreciate her. She's always going to be picking on me. I don't know what it is. And all I do is love her, Nicholas. All I do is love Ashley, and all she want to do is fight me because she's bigger than me. I don't know what it is, but are you taller than me?
I'm actually a lover. I'm not a fighter.
But everybody else?
Okay. Love that man with the HSV too.
Yeah. Listen,
You
y'all.
don't love her then, homie.
I'm gonna be celibate.
Don't come on this show.
Okay,
They're gonna
Angela.
ask you. They're gonna assume.
Okay, Angela.
Look, it's gonna be because they're gonna assume because you can't get a man. So don't.
It's
don't come on this
definitely
show.
not that.
Don't come on this show saying you celibate. They would
Because
judge you.
let me tell you, me and a screw.
Negro,
That's not
lie.
Yeah.
Me and a what?
Me and a screw.
No,
It's
they
because
would
I don't want them to be inside of my thighs.
And the word of the
I
Lord
heard
said,
that.
now unto him
That is able.
to keep you
Hallelujah.
and present you faultless
Bye.
before the she's speaking coming in a Hyundai. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Coming
Do
in
she want a Honda? What'd you say, James?
coming in a Hyundai. But listen, we out. Listen, I'll be back next Monday. They might be back with me. I don't know. I might get mad this week and not like them anymore. But I
Oh, baby. Baby.
But
Y'all, I ain't about to put us out the show, okay?
I cussed a couple weeks ago bad. I ain't gonna lie to you. I cussed bad.
I didn't even say nothing in the
I
group.
said, F that.
Boy, you notice I didn't
I
respond.
said F that. I ain't say the word. But I said F that. I was hot. That was my way of cussing. F that.
As soon as I did the thumbs down, I heard ring.
Oh, baby, you know he hates
I couldn't do that.
that.
I start
You
laughing.
don't miss him like that. You better not thumb him up or down.
I knew he was coming.
Yeah, bro. Ooh.
I was quiet because I was like,
Reggie, I need a bodyguard. Will you help me, please? Hey, congratulations, Jose, man. Reggie's son made it to the show this year. He plays baseball as a pitcher with the Cleveland Guardians, y'all. He made it to the show this year. So
congratulations.
Oh, no, it's in Cincinnati. One of the two. I don't know, but they did well. Congratulations on that. Music keep playing. I'm sorry, and I'm trying to wait until this last time.
Nicholas, he don't have to close the show.
Okay, I'll close the show. Thank you. Okay. And how you want me to close it?
Because the dude will tell you to close it. We tell you like, don't tell me to close it.
You want me to really close it? Y'all,
you gonna put me out?
I'm out.
Listen, they say they want us to do a Friday night. Y'all want to do a Friday night show?
If it ain't seductive, I don't want to do it.
We can spice it up a little bit.
I want to.
Hey,
freaky
ladies, shoot me an inbox of what y'all want to talk about on Friday night, and we'll call it something.
Let's talk about
Freedom Friday, Fuel Friday, Focus Friday. We'll do something. I'll do a Friday night. I don't have no problem.
Freaky Friday, no Focus Friday.
I'm not doing that one.
Freaky Friday sounds good. I want to learn some things.
Ashley, I blush.
No. Ashley, Coy's gonna be a student.
Coy, you ain't no damn student.
Freaky Friday. Hey, hey, listen, Ashley was supposed to tell us about them male toys last week that I didn't know nothing about. But
yeah, because I'm a missionary compared to Ash.
Oh boy.
You might do missionary.
Ain't no sex, y'all, because there's 12 people on this doggone live got HSV, so ain't no sex going on.
I'm not. I am not. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
I'm gonna say good night.
Bye, T. Oh, hold on. We're gonna say it together. Here we go. The world is changing. My question for you is why?
Why do you
remain the same?
Remain the same.
Y'all be good. I'll see y'all next week.
Bye, T. Bye, Ashley.
Bye.
Bye, JK.
Look, Bolo said, did someone say Freaky Friday?
Look at him. That's the only time we're gonna get him to comment on here. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all. I love y'all for real. Y'all send me some stars. For real, send some stars. Thank y'all.